Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Desert. My name is Walter Gendell, and I will be your worship associate this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. I am so glad to see you all here in the sanctuary, or if you are listening online. I am truly grateful for each of you being here today. I know how busy life is, and so glad you chose to join us this morning. It is a privilege to look out and see so many familiar faces and new friends. Your presence makes our time together so special. Thank you for being a part of this community. We are better because you are here. But before we begin our service this morning, please take a moment to silence any and all of your devices, which tend to make really loud noises at the most inopportune times. As we begin our service, let us first acknowledge that we gather today on the ancestral and unceded territories of the Aqua Caliente Band of Cahuilla people, who have cared for and nurtured our land throughout the generations, and to acknowledge the lands, waters, creatures, plants, and peoples whose being is bound up with our own in mutual dependence. Let us commit together to grow in our understanding and relationship with this land and with the people who inhabited it and nurtured it before our arrival. But honoring our land and all living creatures is only a part of who we are. We also care for each other and make every effort to welcome everyone who enters our church. And what that means is that all of you are welcome. Our community has a place for you. Here you matter, and here you are loved. So regardless of your citizenship status, your age or gender identity, race, religion, civic engagement, or who you even choose to love, you are welcome. As a congregation, we strongly believe in honoring our differences and embracing what we have in common. You may not look like the person sitting next to you, or share the same mother tongue, or grew up with very different childhood experiences, but what we do have in common is our strong belief in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. That also means how we treat each other is central to our faith. It means being kind and compassionate to one another, focusing on nurturing relationships, emphasizing compassion, warmth, and connection, and fostering a welcoming community. We live in a world that often mistakes kindness for weakness. Here, kindness is a strength. And though kindness is often quiet and behind the scenes, it can also be proactive. It does not wait to be asked, but looks for opportunities to help. Offering praise to a friend or fellow congregant, paying for someone's coffee, showing someone appreciation for what they do, these are small acts of kindness that will put not only a smile on someone's face, but I guarantee one on yours as well. So come and learn and grow with us. Together, let's figure out individually and as a congregation how we can create and then fully embrace that rich and beautiful, diverse world we aspire to. A world centered in justice, in compassion, in love, and most importantly, in kindness. We are very grateful for your presence. So being welcomed and acknowledged is not limited to only one group of people or segment of society. We are all connected and should always covenant with each other to welcome everyone into our community and celebrate the worthiness of all people. And we do that in part when we light our BIPOC candles. So I would like to invite Sandy to come and light the candles as we say the words on the screen. We light these candles in solidarity with Black, Indigenous, and other people of color as we journey toward spiritual wholeness. May we, as a beloved community, work to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression. May we live out our values so that justice, dignity, and equity for all prevail. Thank you, Sandy. We have a difficult BIPOC candle this morning. Okay, thank you. So now, let's take a deep breath as we calm our minds and our bodies while Reverend Ian rings the Tibetan bowl and we listen to the wonderful Malcolm Swan play our music for centering.
Come, come, whoever you are. You hear that voice calling you, calling us. That voice which calls us here together today in this room made holy by our presence and by the sacred breath we share in our singing and speaking and silence. That voice which calls us to remember that we are not alone and that we are indelibly linked to all of other life, woven into a vast tapestry of existence of which we are a powerful, integral, and holy part. And just as we have been called together today here, we act as the voice, the heart, the hands of another call. The call to walk with the wanderers, to sing and dance with the worshipers, to proclaim the memory of those who have taken their leave, to wrap the despairing and the broken in the arms of kindness and community, and to hold the hands of all of us who have broken our vows and call us back again and again and again to the covenant and work of justice, humility, and steadfast faithfulness. For this we are here together today. So, my friends, come yet again, come, let us worship together. And we're going to do that this morning, of course, by singing. So I invite you, please, to rise in body or in spirit as we sing our opening hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. We'll sing it twice through all together, and then we're going to split into two parts. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come and again. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come this side. And come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come once more. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come.
So as Reverend Ian lights our chalice and we speak the words on the screens above, let us enter this shared sacred space and renew both our commitment and our covenant. We light this chalice to find inner peace, love for each other, faith in ourselves, and kindness in action and to all living creatures. May we come together and be welcoming to whomever we meet in love, kindness, respect, and care as we work toward equity and justice in our community and around the world.
Oops. Good morning, friends. Good morning, friends. How many of you remember the first time you saw a homeless person lying on the sidewalk? I was 5 the first time I saw an elderly man asleep on the sidewalk. When I asked my parents why he was there, their first impulse was to shield me from his view and move on. Sadly, 3 generations later, our society is still moving on, not seeing and speaking or inquiring about the basic human needs of our unhoused citizens. There is a beacon of hope here in the Coachella Valley, someone who not only sees the unhoused, but listens to their needs and actually helps them. Through her inspiring work with the CSUSB Nursing Street Medicine Program, she is actively engaged not only in helping this unserved population, but working with the student nurses to develop their practical therapeutic skills while modeling the compassion needed to serve the unhoused. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Diane Vines, Director of the Nursing Street Medicine Program, and her students. Please welcome them.
I think we have a video, I hope. Okay, let's watch it. It can say it better than we can. There's sound.
Project and growing and serving the homeless community with basic medical care.
Now let's meet the heart of the program. I want you to meet our students and faculty.
It's been one of the best experiences of my life. That it's made me a better human. It's also shown me how much of a difference you can make in somebody's day, in somebody's week, potentially in somebody's life, by just taking the time to make a genuine connection and make them feel seen.
There's a lot of people that I know by name. There's a lot of people that come straight to us and they're like, I don't even want to see the doctor, I just want to come see you guys. So we do build a really long-lasting connection with people.
So with the street medicine program, while we do health screenings, we give out hygiene supplies, we do our foot soaps, what we do see with a lot of our clients is that this is also a time for them to come together and socialize.
We're at Under the Bridge. It's out in Coachella. We're here with the United Methodist Church in Indio, and they provide a hot breakfast, and then we provide hygiene products and clothing and the clinic and vaccinations with Desert Oasis Healthcare at a local school. A truly unique service the Nursing Street Medicine Program provides. Our foot soaks. The homeless guest is in charge. The student soaks the feet in Epsom salts and essential oils for 10 minutes and talks to the guest about their life. Here are the voices of some of the people we've served.
Every week there's a place to go.
I get my blood pressure checked, and they help me with whatever I need.
Get the essentials, get my vitals checked. Just talk to the people, the nurses, and they help a lot.
You can be a part of this transformative initiative. There are ways to get involved and support our mission. We need hygiene products, clothing and shoes, tents, backpacks, sleeping bags, wound care supplies, glucometer test strips, storage space, and of course, donations. Walking a mile in their shoes. We thank you for your support and invite you to join us in making a difference in the lives of So what you can see is that we have 2 different missions in this work, and one is to serve the vulnerable populations of the Coachella Valley with needed health care. The second is to train, educate our nurses, nursing students, so that they become compassionate and empathic and good communicators with vulnerable people. And that includes migrant workers, it includes unhoused people, it includes the poor elderly, and many other groups that we work with in the shelter, et cetera. So last year we did about 500 visits and touched almost 800 individuals with the students. Our goal is both to do that again, and we want to increase it now and we're hoping to start giving medications in the field, which would mean for substance abuse and for mental illness, which we think will be really a huge help for those people who need it. So I'm going to ask Nicole to just say a few words about what the nursing student assistants do.
A little nervous. My name is Nicole, and as a nursing student, I get to do a lot of what you don't see there, and it's picking up the supplies, prepping the hygienes, shampoos, bottles, all that stuff, so that there's something to give out to them. I have been volunteering since my first semester. I have accumulated over 130 hours hands-on, and then like hundreds others as a student assistant. So please believe me when I tell you that the people we care for are the kindest persons I've ever met. And it really has taught me to like deepen my connection with people and be more compassionate about them. I think it's really important as future healthcare workers to emphasize on caring for a person as I would love my family to be taken care of, with love, with dignity and compassion. So that's what we do.
So Dima introduced her a little bit before, but I'll let you say, what does it mean for you to serve in the program?
Thank you for, so what it means to me, it's in this materialistic life, I get a moment in street medicine to focus on my human side and to prove to myself that I can be a good person and I can give to the community as it gives me. So I like to give unhoused people my hand. I tell them that we can support you. They are sweaty, hot, mad, and we just sit them down. We let them like, let me please clean your feet, let me do something, let me check your vitals, and little by little they just open up to you. And I get surprised how they shift from anger to speaking about their past life, about their families, and I figure out like they are really have big life. It's not like just a homeless person. So it taught me a lot, and I'm still learning, and I just graduated yesterday, and I'm willing to keep going with the street medicine. Thank you.
You can see the best part about our program is our students. They are the most compassionate, wonderful students I've ever taught, and I've been teaching for over 50 years. So I can tell you they're amazing. And I want to thank the church and all of the people here who have been helping us. Denise, of course, Francine, and you are also helping. the husbands, we've got several of the husbands have gotten really involved. And then Rob, of course, when some of you were at the event that he hosted for us, the reception. So that, and there's many others. Margaret was the person that started the whole thing. She invited me here, 4 years ago now, I think? 4 years ago to talk about the program. So thank you very much for supporting us.
And now I will invite the ushers to come forward to take a collection for the support of the street nursing program and this beloved congregation as Malcolm plays us some beautiful music. Thank you for your generosity and support of this important work, this beautiful work, and of our congregation. Thank you. We take a moment in our service to pause every week to share the joys and concerns, the sorrows and the happiness that live in all of our hearts. We come to this place in a world that is full of fear and a world where we experience anger, where we are outraged by what is happening around us. It is also a world in which we find small joys, pieces of beauty and connection, kindness and support, the generosity of the work of volunteers to help those in our communities who are without help, the work of reminding each other that our faces are beautiful, that our hearts are beautiful, and that our hands can be kind as well as strong. They can be working hands as well as caring hands. And so we gather and share the joys and sorrows of this community. Today we have candles of joy from Sandy and Margaret for their two oldest grandsons who have been accepted into their colleges of choice, NYU and USC. Congratulations to them both as they begin this new stage of life. And Joni and Bill say happy birthday tomorrow, as do we all, to Cheryl Eaton. Happy birthday, Cheryl. We come and we are so grateful for these joys and grateful to come to a place where we can say, oh my gosh, what do we do with this world? We're grateful for this place. And so we pause for a moment in prayer and contemplation. Spirit of life, source of love, fire of our broken but still shining hearts, we gather in this place seeking kindness and hope in the face of cruelty and despair. We come to this place carrying aching bodies, frightened hearts, and we come to this place with minds filled with possibility, with spirits lifted by love and hope. We carry all of this in our hearts as we pause for a moment of quiet together. May all beings know peace. May all beings know an end to suffering. May all beings know love. Friends, will you join those beautiful voices of yours together as we sing Spirit of Life, Fuente de Amor. Spirit of life, come to me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí. Y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arráyame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. I want to tell you a story And I want to say kindly and lovingly that if you're over the age of 12 and you think that stories are for little people, take a breath. Open your heart. We all need a story. And this is the story of Carl. Carl's a crocodile. And Carl lives in Orlando. He loves cardigans, crepes, and combing his hair. And he has a terrible temper. It's not that he didn't want to be kind. It was just that life was sometimes hard, and this temper was quick to show up. He'd tell himself it was because he was a crocodile. I just snapped, he said. I can't help it. But deep down, he knew that wasn't entirely true. He snapped to keep people away when he got embarrassed. He snapped when feelings fed his body and got too overwhelming. And he snapped when he didn't know what else to do. He just wanted it all to stop. But snapping didn't only stop the hard stuff. It stopped him from being happy. It stopped him from trying new things. And it stopped people from wanting to be around him. It scared people. People he wanted as his friends. He felt really confused. One afternoon in language arts class, Mr. Flamingo called on him to spell a word. Now, Carl was pretty good at spelling. Last week he spelled cardigan on the first try. But he always got a little bit nervous. Spell crepe, said the teacher. Carl smiled. He must have ordered at least 10 crepes in his lifetime. This should be easy, he thought. Crepe. C-R-A-P-E, crepe. Almost, said Mr. Flamingo, but not quite. Behind him, an emu named Sophia laughed. Looks like Crabby Carl can't even spell his favorite food. Carl whirled and looked at Sophia. He wanted to keep his cool. He wanted his body to relax, but that's not what happened. He snapped. Why didn't you fly to Oklahoma, Sophia? Oh, that's right, emus can't fly, he said. Carl threw his comb at the board and ran out of the classroom. Back home, he felt pretty deflated. Nobody likes me, he thought. I'm stupid, he thought. Crocodiles just can't be kind, he thought. But then he paused. Where did those thoughts come from? Those ideas weren't true. I had 3 friends show up for my birthday party, he said. I can do fractions standing on my head, he thought, and I help my mom brush her teeth, a lot of teeth, every night. As Carl noticed this, he pictured the thoughts drifting away on a cloud. See you later, alligators. Just picturing this made Carl feel better. And after that, he started to question more thoughts in his mind, and he decided to be a little kinder himself. When he felt sad, he took care of the sad part of himself. Sometimes he jumped on his trampoline. Sometimes he made drawing using all of the crayons in the box. And sometimes he just cried. And that was okay. When he felt all tight in his body, he thanked his body for telling him. And then he'd comb his hair for 5 minutes, which usually calmed him down. And when he got an almost but not quite at school, he didn't call himself names. He patted himself on the cheek when no one else was looking and whispered, "You did your best today, and you could try again next time." And then Carl wondered if everybody's minds worked like his did. If so, it made him want to be a little kinder to them too. But he thought, what if I'm kind to other people and they're mean to me? Well, he decided to try it out. He held the door for a stranger when their hands were full. When Sophia wanted to play a xylophone he was playing, he offered to take turns. It actually sounded pretty good. And he sat by a friend and listened when they were upset. He even heard a mule deer named Emma call him Kind Carl, and he liked the sound of that. It felt different to be kind instead of afraid, but it felt right. And people weren't mean. In fact, most people are even kinder to him than he could have imagined. One friend helped him put on his jacket. Another helped him pick crayons up when he dropped them on the floor. And a rhino named Steve, who he never thought would be kind, said hi to him and taught him a trick with a soccer ball. Carl felt strong. One day in art class, a bison named Noah spilled some paint on Carl's favorite cardigan. Carl noticed the anger rise in him. He noticed his body tense up, and he even noticed his mind call Noah a bird brain. Noah prepared for the worst. But Carl took a deep breath and said, "That's okay. I feel a little bit angry, Noah, but I know it was an accident." "I'm sorry," Carl said Noah, and together they went to the sink to wash out the paint. Now, Carl still lives in Orlando, but he's hoping to make it to Paris one day for some real crepes. Life is still hard sometimes. People can be mean and frustrating. His mind can be loud, and his temper shows up every so often. But now Carl chooses kindness at least once a day. He isn't perfect, and he doesn't need to be. Every day, he knows, is an opportunity to practice, and that is a lot of kindness. And then I think the choir is going to tell us a little bit more about kindness. Thank you, choir. Thank you. The band room in my high school was a very special place. It was certainly a place where wonderful music happened and where a lot of learning how to create that music happened. It was also the orchestra room, and it was the location of the one class that my husband Mark and I shared at high school, string orchestra. And I don't play the cello anymore at all, don't worry. And more than the cafeteria or the library or the theater room, it was the room where every kind of student was welcome. Rich or poor, freshman or senior, brain or nerd or jock or slacker. It was the most diverse place in our high school and the most welcoming. This was all because of one man, Robert John Clark, Bob to his colleagues and friends, RJ to all of his students. One of the two male teachers in the school that we all knew to be confirmed bachelors, though we didn't really talk about that much back then. I'm remembering RJ now because he died this past week at the age of 93 after a long life of teaching and music making. He was a founding member of the Kingston Symphony Orchestra in my hometown, and the teacher in our school who was definitely on everybody's favorite teacher list. He was generous, welcoming, passionate about music and helping kids learn how to make and share it. He clearly, very clearly loved us, and he loved his work. And he was one of the kindest men I knew growing up. We were often a rowdy bunch in that band room, as band rooms often are, and I only remember him losing his temper outwardly once, and that was actually my fault, and we're not going to talk about it. He was a role model for me and for so many. I loved him and learned so much from him, and what I remember today most was his kindness. Now, I intentionally strive in our worship and in other areas of our congregational life to feature and ground our thinking and collaboration in the words and work of women and LGBTQ folks and BIPOC folks and voices from marginalized communities, and not to rely solely on the voices or examples of people who look like me. And it feels important today to remember and lift up the model and life experiences of men who are kind. In a world where the men in charge seem to be motivated only by cruelty and greed and hate and anger, it's important to see different ways of being. RJ was that for me and for so many. I haven't spoken to him in decades, but he helped shape who I have become, and I think about him almost every day. When I was a kid, though, I didn't always see and feel kindness in the world around me. I remember vividly my 10-year-old self begging my mother not to go to school because the teasing was too painful. My classmates mocked me, chased me home from school, threatened to beat me up. I don't think they knew why, really, just sensed difference. I just know that it was becoming unbearable. Blessedly, my parents gave me support and love, and my teachers began to intervene, and the teasing lessened, though the memory of it stays with me to today. There were models of kindness around if you looked. My parents, certainly, and teachers, and even on television. And of all of the children's programming that we were offered, I remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood most vividly. Fred Rogers' model of really excellent cardigans, by the way. He and Carl would have gotten along. Model of nurturing and care and curiosity helped teach so many of us how to be a person in the world, taught many of us how to be a man in the world, taught us that self-care was not a weakness, showed us a model of healthy, kind, gentle, certain masculinity. I spoke a couple of weeks ago about Mr. Rogers remembering his mother asking him to look for the helpers in times of crisis. And this week, I'm especially remembering his constant and continuous call to be kind. In his conversations with neighbors and children and visitors, in his stories in the land of make-believe, and just and always in his way of being in the world. And this was, it seems, who he was outside of the television studio As well, everyone who knew or met Fred Rogers knew him to be kind, to act kindly even when striving for excellence. In an interview given at the time of the premiere of the Tom Hanks movie about Mr. Rogers, Fred's wife Joanne said of him, "Now you shouldn't say my husband was a saint, because he wasn't. He was a person. Fred worked very hard on the hard things of life, and I guess I always think about a saint as someone who's just good without working at all. But he worked hard on his ministry, and the ministry was the program." What sticks in my mind about what she said is the idea that he worked very hard. Even Mr. Rogers had to work at being good and kind, which were the hard things of life. Another model for me around gracefulness and kindness, especially in how we use language, has been the poet Wendell Berry. Many of his poems travel with me throughout my days and inspire my work and my own writing. And this short poem that I just discovered a couple of years ago is front of my mind these days. It is called A Warning to My Readers. "Do not think me gentle because I speak in praise of gentleness, or elegant because I honor the grace that keeps this world. I am a man crude as any, gross of speech, intolerant, stubborn, angry, full of fits and furies. That I may have spoken well at times is not natural. A wonder is what it is. Honor the grace that keeps this world." Another assertion that the way we bring kindness into the world and into our lives is to choose to do so, to practice doing so in each and every moment. That it's really okay if our insides are rough and crude and gross of speech. What matters is how we respond to this, how we pay attention to how we're acting. We often carry the notion that challenges in our lives, the struggles and pain and conflict and trauma, that the challenges in our life make us stronger or better or kinder. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, they say. I think that's nonsense. As one commenter online wrote, when someone told them your trauma made you kind, they responded after a couple of swear words that I won't say in the pulpit, "No, I am kind because I cannot allow anyone to go through what I did. I am soft because I choose to be. Trauma made me scared, angry, and vulnerable. I made myself kind." I'm quoting someone else, but I echo that. When I am able to be a kind person, which I hope that I am most of the time, is partly because I had role models in people like RJ and Mr. Rogers who showed me what it looked like. And it is partly because I choose to remember my own childhood trauma and make a commitment. The one I love is this phrase: the best revenge is not to be that way. I chose and choose to be kind because I saw what it looked like in the world and because I know viscerally what the impact of unkindness is. Just look around and you can't help but see the impact of unkindness in the world, unkindness as a political and social doctrine. We are living in that world. And I'm not saying that to you that the solution to all of our woes and anguish right now is just to be nice to each other. Far from it. But a place to start toward change, to strengthen our resistance and resilience, is to craft relationships of kindness and grace and love. The best revenge is to not be that way. And one more thing that sticks with me reading Kind Carl again with you today. Over the course of the story, Carl becomes aware that he's not only being unkind to others, but that he's being unkind to himself as well, to himself first. Actually, nobody likes me, he thought. I'm stupid, he thought. Crocodiles just can't be kind, he thought. But Carl then realizes something important. He tells himself that these are not good thoughts to have and lets them go away. He takes care of himself when he feels angry, when he feels sad, when he feels worried. He takes of himself. And then he realizes something incredibly important, that other people's inner lives are as complex as his, as muddled as his. And this encourages him into connection and care and enlivens his kindness toward himself and to others. Sharon Salzberg, the author of Kind Carl, is a well-known and deeply respected Buddhist teacher. At the center of her work is the practice of loving kindness meditation for everyone, adults and children. And so I want to finish our reflection time with a moment of centering all of us together, guided by the practice that Salzberg teaches. So I'm going to guide us through a short loving kindness meditation that will, I hope, lead us into some silence. And at the end of the silence, I'm going to invite Malcolm to play through our closing hymn, and then we'll all join in singing it through a few times. We'll stay seated for all of this. We're going to do it two different ways. So I'm going to invite you to be comfortable in your seat. That might mean sinking into your chair. It might mean planting your feet on the ground or crossing your ankles. It might mean standing up against the wall. It might mean lying on the floor. If deep breathing centers you, breathe deep. If you are comfortable with your eyes closed, close them. Or you can keep your eyes open and allow your gaze to become gentle. Rest your hands on your knees, or you may put one hand over your heart. As I'm going to share several phrases out loud. And as I do, I invite you to repeat them silently in your mind. Repeat them, don't rush. If it helps you to imagine an actual situation in which you felt safe or healthy or peaceful, you can do that. So I invite you into a time of quiet. I invite you to say to yourself, repeat to yourself, may I be safe. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. Now we're going to send those good wishes from ourselves out into the world. You can imagine your family or your friends or your neighbors or people in our community or somewhere else in the world. Maybe imagine someone you feel like you hate or even the whole world. Again, I invite you to repeat the phrases silently in your mind, and then we'll remain in silence a little while longer and then sing. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. we face. May the kindness which we learn light up. May it be so. Thank you.
So prior to sharing our congregational news, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank all who helped put together our service this morning. And I know most of you now know who those people are. But I believe you can never say thank you enough to those who go above and beyond. And yes, this is what kindness in action looks like, showing gratitude and appreciation for all those people and what they do. So thank you. So let's start with our terrific AV team, our incredible hospitality team, and our many greeters and ushers, and those who help set up and take down the tables for our coffee after service. Also, a big thanks to Pam, our amazing office manager, Jack for his graphics and images, and our fabulous Malcolm Swan. And most of all, our choir, and our choir director, Jim Tong, who always amazes us with their beautiful voices. And maybe we can give one more round of applause to the choir. Thank you. But most of all of you for being here and continuing to strengthen our community. Thank you. And I'm really glad you're all sitting down this morning right now because we only have one announcement. The last part of Healthy Aging class series, Dare to be Happy, will be next Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the community room. It will include questions and discussions on how to make the rest of your life the best of your life. Flyers are on the round table in the foyer, or ask Marty Gronwald if you have any questions. So now, in each breath we take, may we remember that the work of love, justice, and healing is ours to continue, both here and beyond these walls. So now, let us extinguish our chalice, and as we do so, let us say these words on the screen above. May we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And thank you, Walter. It's been a whole service without science fiction until this moment. Written by Stephen Moffat, these are the final words spoken by Peter Capaldi's doctor on Doctor Who in the 2017 Christmas special, just before he turned into Jodie Whittaker. Never be cruel. Never be cowardly. Remember, hate is always foolish. Love is always wise. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. With this call to courage, love, and kindness ringing in our ears, go in peace, dear ones, to love and serve the world.